Okay, so I was thinking about running for a couple of years when I was doing I remember the first sort of initial SU interaction I had with actual officers, was when I was doing my week 1 training, and I sort of heard about what the welfare officer did. They were doing a bit of sort of training on the language that you should use, and try and have other people's interests and look after the week 1 reps, the freshers. And that's when I was sort of like, this sounds something really interesting I want to get involved in, but I didn't really have the confidence then to really go for it. So I sort of put it to the back of my mind, and then during 3rd year I had a bit of a tough time when, it was sort of, what am I doing next year? I didn't really have, sort of felt like I had support. I didn't really know what I was what my identity was. I sort of lost my identity. I didn't really know what I was doing. And then the support services that I received, because I went to sort of speak to people, get a bit of help, and I found them all really positive, but then I spoke to other people who hadn't had the same sort of level of support that I received, and I was I didn't really like that some people had better support than others. So it was like something that I really wanted to do, to get into the role and just try and ensure that every student has the same level of support. Okay, so probably I think the stuff we've done around the Safe Taxi scheme has been quite a big achievement, because we took something that was already there and we've sort of developed it into something that students really value and can use. And the fixed prices, along with the emergency taxi scheme that we set up this year, have been really well used and really well utilised. And we've had about 1,300 students sign up to that. And then in Freshers Week we sort of did the welcome address where I spoke in front of every single fresher, so that was quite a big achievement to be able to say that in the summer before term had even started I'd done this, and can promote it to the first years. Hopefully it's growing. I hope that I've set up the foundations this year to really develop next year in terms of the promotion of the services, the relationships that we have with the different services here. I'm doing a lot of sort of research around the support that medics and healthcare students get in their time here, because obviously they work 9 to 5 or they're on placement, but how much we can get that done this year because of all the research we've had to do, I don't know. So hopefully next year that's something that can really continue. Interesting one. I think with welfare, it's quite a hard one to get easy wins. So if it's sort of a sport or a society, you might be able to get sort of day-to-day wins and successes, whereas with welfare it's a lot more like every day you're working on a bigger project. So it could be the relationships that you're having with the networks, with the support staff. It could be anything like that, but it's a lot harder to get sort of wins day to day. So it's a lot more behind the scenes, working with the different services to try and eventually sort of improve them. But it's a lot harder to sort of showcase what you're doing as welfare officer. I think they are all really, really good. Most of them I've been in contact with for the past sort of month or two, sort of coming to shadow me and going through the manifestos with me, and they've all been really well informed. They've spoke to the right people. They've spoke to all the liberation groups and to the part-time officers and to the sort of networks they need to speak to, and they all seem really good and really realistic at the same time, which is great. So I think it's going to be a very, very tough race.